Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Creative Process. In today's video, we'll look at how you can create out this text effect using Adobe Illustrator. We'll be creating out these three different designs using the same technique. It's a folding wave text effect. In the previous video, we have seen how you can create extrude text effect in Adobe Illustrator. We'll be creating out two extrude text effect design. For the first design, we'll create out a vertical extrude text effect and then apply a nice halftone effect to it. For the second design, we'll create out this horizontal extrude text effect with a nice perspective depth, and then later we'll apply a nice noise grain effect to it. In this tutorial, we'll be creating out this three different designs using the same technique. For the first design, we'll be creating it out from a single line, applying it a zigzag and then giving it a nice curve, and then we'll apply a font to it using the 3D Extrude Bevel option. And after that, we'll use the same technique and create out this amazing brushstroke folding effect using the 3D Extrude Bevel option. And we'll do some color correction and add a nice background to it. For the last design, we'll use a different technique. For this, we'll be creating out a parallel pattern, and then we'll use the make with mesh option to get the variation in the line, and then we'll apply clipping mask to the text. So let's begin with the designing process. So to create this first design, what we're going to do is to draw out a line segment. So select the line segment tool and click and drag and create a line segment. Give it a stroke color, something like this, and some stroke thickness. After that, select the line segment tool and go to Effect, Distort and Transform option, and Zigzag. And under Zigzag, what you can do is you can just preview it first, and then as you can see, it's a zigzag pointed corner, so make it smooth. And then with the size here slider, you can increase the height of your wave, so how much wave you want to give. And over here, if you check it out over here, it's 1 2 3 4 4 curve wave is there, so 1 2, so I'm going to increase numbers over here, so 1 2 3 4. And as you can see, it starts from here, then goes up, then down. So I'm going to select this from here, start from here, then goes down, up, down. So 1 2 3 4 and click OK. And if you want to change the height, you can again go back to appearance, go to zigzag, and just reduce the height a little bit over here. So I'm going to reduce the height around this much and click OK. So I'm fine with it. After that, go to object and expand it. So expand appearance, and now it's a stroke curve. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the direction. So I'm going to flip it 180 degree like this. And now as you can see, the flow is now according to our design, something like this. And what we can do is we can give this in this direction or in this opposite direction. It depends on the axis you want to apply. So selecting this, but before we apply this, you're going to create a text like this. So what you can do is you can select the text tool and type out some words. So I have just written fold curve. I'll change the color to white and reduce the text size, so similar to something like that. Okay, once you got your font, and the font I have used over here is OK Esport Bold. So for this design, I'm going to use this font, and after this, open the symbol appearance panel. So go to symbol, this is the icon symbol, or you can go to Windows and click on symbol. So you'll just find it somewhere around here, click on it, and you'll get this symbol panel. Here, just select this and drag and drop it over here, and then give it a name, SYM symbol, and click OK. So you can see it's created over here. So this is the new symbol, and this is my previous one which I have created earlier. So you can just delete this now. And now once to apply that font over here, what we can do is we can first apply 3D Extrude Bevel option to this. So Effect, 3D Extrude Bevel option, and preview it. Let's increase the extrude depth around this much, and as you can see, this is the direction over here. And to get the opposite direction, you can just go to the axis over here. You can choose isometric left to get this direction, or isometric right to get this direction. So I'm going to keep let's say something this much, something like this, or something like this. Let's say you want to keep it something like this, so I'm going to keep it like that and reduce the thickness a little bit, something around this much. And now I'll go to map art and click on invisible geometry to see the geometry only, and then just click on these small arrows and just select a surface, something like this. So you got this whole surface. Now to apply the text, go there and select the symbol, and we'll change the angle with the shift press. I want to give it something like this, and let's reduce the thickness a little bit just to make sure it's inside that. Okay, so you can see as you extend the fonts, you can extend it till here. So I want to give something a little bit this much, and we'll reduce this a little bit, and I'm going to reduce the height a little bit. Okay, and click OK. And now I'm going to expand this object, expand appearance. Okay, so here as you can see, I have just duplicated this other one. What you can do is you can create one more and apply different font to it. So I'm going to just make it a little parallel, something like this, and ungroup, and let's just select these background shapes, delete it out, and here you got all your design. So I'm going to select everything, deselecting the background, and just release clipping mask. And now select these individual pieces, or what you can do is select everything and deselect these shapes. So select them, select these, and deselect them, deselect the background and delete it out. So we have deleted out all those masking shapes. Now let's apply the color. So I'll select this and this, and I have applied a gradient color. So if I pick it over here, this is the gradient color, and if we go over here, this is the gradient shade we have created. So I have on one side I have given a dark color, then these are white color. So what I did is I bring the white color around this much, just to giving it a corner. And after this, what I'll do is I'll just change the direction. So select here and just change the direction, something like that. Okay, so giving that nice shade at the end. You can adjust the depth using this sliders. So we're gonna give something this much. And now let's select the other shapes. So I'm gonna select this and this, and with the eye picker I'll select this color, and this is gray color. If I pick it, double click on this, you can see the color code. This is the gray color, and click OK. So we got that gray color and we got that shape. So this is how I have applied that gradient color to our fonts. Now what I'll do is I'll select these and create a duplicate. With the Alt press, click and drag and create a duplicate and place it somewhere around here. And if you zoom it out, you can see we have created a similar design, and this is one of the way you can create some text effect. And this is one, this is two. You can give different style to it. You can just repeat the steps and create all other designs using different fonts or text. Now let's use this technique and try to create this design, this paintbrush folding style design. And for this, what we need first is to create this stroke. What we need to do is we need to get an image of your brush stroke. So I downloaded an image over here, this image. This is a brushstroke image, PNG brushstroke image I have downloaded from the web. You can use any of the brush strokes. So what I'll do is I'll just select them and drag and drop it to my like artwork. So this is the brush image. This is PNG, so there's no background over here. And if you don't find a PNG, you can just go to Photoshop and remove the background, and you can create a PNG of your own. So the next thing we're going to do is to convert this into vector. So select the image and first embed it, and after that go to image trace and choose 16 colors. So we want a little maximum color for this. We want for more details, so I'm choosing 16. In this way you got all the details similar to this over here, everything. And if you feel like you're not happy with it, you want more details, what you can do is you can go back and choose like high fidelity photo or low fidelity photo. So I'm happy with the 16 colors, so I'm going to keep it with the 16 colors. So here we go. Now I'm going to expand it and then ungroup it, and I'll just select this white background and delete it out. So you're left with this image. and I'll just select all these extra small pieces and delete it out just to get a single brush stroke, something like this. And now select everything and group them, Command or Control G. Now here is the brush stroke. So we're going to apply this to a curve line. So the steps is similar. We have to convert this into symbol. So open the symbol panel and just drag and drop it there. Okay, and just name it brush. Enter. And now I'm going to delete this because we already got that symbol over here. Now let's apply it to our design. So I'm going to select this and just change the color to light color for my background, lock it, and now let's create this. To create this, we'll be using a pen tool because this shape we need to create this nicely. So you can use the pen tool and draw it out manually. Give it a stroke color just to see little darker color. Create it manually, and I can easily tweak it using the tag selection tool. So making sure that these curves are nicely smooth. Use the handles to adjust the flow. It's not necessary that your curve has to be perfectly smooth, but make sure that it's done nicely because we're going to use other options just to make it more smoother. You got a nice gap over here because we have to maintain that gap. Now to give it more smoother, what we'll do is we'll select this, okay, and go to Object, Path, Simplify. And under Simplify, you can just adjust these sliders, Curve Precision slider, just to make sure these curves are smooth. So it's kind of adding or removing the strokes and maintaining the flow of the design. As you can see, as I increase to 100%, it's adding more points, and we don't want that. And if I reduce it, you can see 0%, there is very minimum points, and that's also influencing our shape. So we want a perfectly smooth design, so I'm going to increase it and place it somewhere like this. And as you can see, it's looking very smooth and clean. So I'm going to click OK, and that's how you can give some smooth design to your text. You can just draw it out randomly with your pen tool, and after that you can use the Simplify tool to make it smooth. So you don't have to be perfect in your first step. Now once you are ready with this curve shape, what we can do next is we have to create this 3D Extrude Bevel shape. So to create the shape, we'll be selecting the stroke shape and go to Effect, 3D Extrude Bevel option. Over here, preview it and increase the stroke thickness and just set the angle correctly. So I'm going to select this isometric left, and that's the angle we are going to use, and I'm going to reduce the thickness a little bit, something like this. Okay, so this is the thickness we're looking for this design. And let's go to Map Art, and here we'll be choosing the surface. So let's make it invisible geometry, and let's select the surface. We want this smooth surface, so I'm going to select a surface. Here is the surface, and we'll go to here and choose a brush. So here we go. Here is the brush. It's there. Just scale it to fit, and it will automatically fit it according to the size of the artwork. And as you can see, our ends is here and the top portion is on the bottom, and this is totally on the opposite side. What we can do is we can just rotate this angle. So just click with the shift press, just flip it, and here we go. Here it is. And you can just do some slight tweaking. You can just make it a little bit smaller from this side, and the other side, it's your wish, and just do some little slight movement position. And once you're happy with it, I'll just click OK, and we'll do some little bit of angular displacement as well. So I'm just change the angle a little bit using the cube. So I'm gonna, here as you can see, it's a little bit upward, so we'll just make it a little bit upward, something like this. This looks good. Make it a little bit downward and click OK. So here it is, the final image. Now I'll just select this and expand it before doing any other adjustments. So Object, Expand Appearance, and this will convert it into object. Now I'll just scale it up a little bit according to our design. Just make it a little bit bigger, and I'll place it in the center. And as you can see here, I have added some highlights and shadows. So we'll be adding these highlights and shadows using the gradient layer and layer mode option. So let's do it. So I'm going to select this and Object, Expand, then ungroup it for multiple number of times just to ungroup everything, and then release clipping mask. And after that, just select these and deselect all these surfaces and delete these borders, and you are left with only these shapes. Now let's apply these gradients. So select this, Command and Control C and Command and Control F, and here we'll apply the gradient color. So select a gradient color, okay, apply, okay, we'll choose something common, this one, this gradient color, and let's select the gradient tool and just make it just give it a direction to it. Just click and drag and give it a direction. So we're giving darker at this region and brighter at here. So click and drag and give it darker and lighter. And if I deselect this, you can see the color is something like this. Now selecting this, go to the transparency layer and change the layer mode to overlay. And here we can see the effect. Brighter, this glowing, and this is dark. In the same way, select this, Command Control C, Command Control F, paste in front, and then we can directly pick this color, okay, and then using the gradient tool, just set the angle. So here we need a darker color, so I'm just do the opposite, click and drag and place the darker region around here. I'm going to select this as well, Command Control C, Command Control F, okay. With the Alt and Shift press, I'll just pick this color and let's change the direction. G for gradient and click and drag. Here it should be darker, so just click and making it a little more darker somewhere around there. So I select this, Command Control C, Command Control F, and apply the color, okay, G, dark color at this region. Selecting this, Command Control C, Command Control F, apply the color, G for gradient, and apply darker color at this region. Now select all the shapes with the shift pressed, all these gradient shapes, and go to transparency and change the blend mode to overlay. And as you can see, we have given that nice depth of field over there with the glow. And let's reduce the shadow intensity a little bit. So select everything and go to opacity and change the transfer intensity to around 75%, and that will look amazing. So this is how I have created this. Now you can add some background depth, background details, perspective, that's your wish. But let's say you want to create this, I'll just show it out. Very simple, pen tool and just draw it out a rectangle, okay, and with the eye picker just pick this color, random color, do the same. I just need to create a duplicate, just make it something like this, and let's reduce it. So with the select this point and just drag it up a little bit somewhere around there, and I'll just pick the color green, okay, that's all. And I'll just arrange it to back, so command and open square bracket to arrange it to back. To give this path effect, we'll just draw out something like this. So eye picker, V, arrange it to back, create a duplicate of it. So I'm going to choose this gradient color and G and just apply dark color at this region and bright color on the other side, something like that. And we'll change the blend mode to multiply and reduce the opacity, let's say around 20, and that looks good. And here's how we have created this wavy brush folding effect in Adobe Illustrator. It's very simple. Now let's create out this last design, and it's also very simple. We'll create this out in different way. So as you can see, if you look at it over here, you can see first we have to create this parallel pattern, and let's create that pattern. So I'm going to use a rectangle for this. So let's draw it out in an open area, something like this. Okay, and I'll apply some white color, plain white color. Okay, and let's create a duplicate. With the Alt press, click and drag and create a duplicate. Then Command DD, Command Control D, something like that. Okay, so we select everything and apply mesh. So go to Object, and Distort, make with mesh. And here, click OK. And let's see how much like division you want to give. So 303, 226, 309, 34, 12. So it should be around 12. So I'll just keep 12 columns and click OK. And after that, using the direct selection tool, we'll select these points. So leaving these three, I'll select these three, and then leaving 1 2 3. I'll select these three all, and what we'll do is we'll just either push it up or down. So for this we'll push it up, so with the arrow key just push it up and make sure you get this nice flow over here, this narrow division design over here. So we'll do it until you get that. We'll push it up a little bit more just to see that nice flow. And now once you're happy with this, we can just expand it, object expand appearance. Okay, and we'll just scale it down just to place it somewhere around here. We can do a few more things. You can just select these ends with the direct selection tool, select these ends and just extend it more. Shift press, just extend it more. Do the same for the other side and I'll just place it somewhere around here. Okay, now let's create a copy with Command Control C. And now the first tag we're gonna do is this. Let's say you want to create this S shape, so I'm gonna just type out S somewhere. Let's say S, and let's choose a nice font for this. So we'll place it somewhere around here and choose a font similar to this. So, and go over here and type Arial, A-R-I-L, Arial, and that's it. And we'll change it to bold. Okay, so this is the bold. So we'll place this around here, and I'll select this, and make clipping mask. So you got that S. I'll just paste this again, this one over here, Command F, this one, and now we'll create under text. Maybe just like this, and I'll just bring it there. Okay, release clipping mask and delete it. So this is the font. I'll just place this around here, and Command All, we'll just type out A. Okay, we'll create under one. Okay, and I'll just type out 5 to reduce this size a little bit. I'll just place this around here, and A around this much. So for the A, I'll select this and make clipping mask. I'll just paste the other pattern again, Command Control F, and we'll change the color to black. Okay, I'll select the font. Okay, and arrange it to front. Then select this pattern and make clipping mask, and here we go. So we'll do some adjustments with the position of the text. Here you can move the fonts, so just move it around and do the placement, nice placement, something interesting. Do the same for the alphabet A. I'll select everything, select these three, okay, and place it somewhere here, and just do some rotation with them. We have to move it a little bit up just to match it with the flow. I'll just select this 5 and make it a little bit down. Just lock this, select the background shape, Command Control C, then unlock it, shape this, Command Control F. So I'll just mask it out, make clipping mask, and here we go. We got that nice text. You can just go in there and select them and just move it up a little bit to place it in the center and out. So here we go, and you can see that nice flow to the S, 5 and A, and that's how I have created this wave text effect. So finally, we have created out all the three designs. For the first design, we have seen the concept. We have used the Zig Zag option and applied used 3D Extrude Bevel option to create this nice folding text effect. Then we have used the same concept and applied Brushstroke and applied with the folding curve pattern. And then we have given some nice gradient color to give this nice depth of field and glow. And lastly, we have created a parallel pattern, and then we have used the make with mesh option to get this irregular parallel flow. And then lastly, we have just clipped the pattern to your favorite text and fonts. So finally, we have completed creating this nice folding curvy text effect in Adobe Illustrator. We have created out these 3 amazing designs using very simple techniques. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Don't forget to check out the next tutorial coming up, and if you want more updates on designing, don't forget to like, share and subscribe this channel. Thank you.